I'm Jeff Fisher with the OB Sports Golf Academy and the Golf Channel School of Golf, Hilton Head Island. Today we're going to do two things for you. First of all, I'm going to give you one piece of information, the single biggest thing that I think is holding amateur golfers back from improving day to day and getting their golf game better. And then I'm going to give you two tips, both of which are going to help you lower your scores today without changing your golf swing at all. We're going to come over here and I'm going to grab my 7-iron. Here it is. This is the game-changing, earth-shattering piece of information that's going to make you better right now. Here's the thing, 99.9% of you are not tour pros. And trying to swing like a tour pro is not only not going to help you get better, it's actually going to make you a little bit worse. Here's why. The first thing that a tour pro learned when he started to play golf, when he was a 10, 15, 20 handicapper, is he learned he had to square his golf club. He had to rotate his forearms to square his golf club. That's the reason why every time you see a picture of a tour pro past impact, he looks like this. His arms are rotated, his knuckles are down, the club face has moved past square. He doesn't look like this with the knuckles up, the arm chicken wing. That's what a slicer looks like. That's what you look like. So here's the tour pro learned, hey, I got to do this really well. And he learned to do it very well, and as he got very good at it, what happened is he started to hit a hook. Not a pull, but a hook. A ball that started to the right of his target and curved well left. And he said to himself, okay, it's very important that I continue to square my golf club, continue to rotate my forearms. How do I do that and not hook the golf ball? So he said, I better start to release my hips, turn my core, release my hips, turn my core to counterbalance the squaring motion of his golf club. Now, he got so good at the squaring of the golf club that it became second nature to him and he stops talking about it. When you hear him talk about his golf swing, all he's talking about, release the hips, turn the core, release the hips, turn the core. And that's the part that you're trying to copy. Unfortunately, you left out the first part, which was the squaring motion. So when you weren't squaring the golf club, you were already hitting a slice instead of a hook. And now, release the hips, turn the core, release the hips, turn the core. All that did is make your slice worse. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna back you up to the point where a tour pro was a 10, 15, 20 handicap like you are now, and we're gonna show you how to square up your golf club. The first thing you have to understand is what cannot square up your golf club. Your body cannot square up your golf club. Let me say that again. Your body cannot square up your golf club. Why? Because it's not attached to your body. It's not here. It's attached to your hands. So the only mechanism you have for squaring up your golf club is the rotation of your forearms. That's the only way you can square up your golf club. So what we need to do is learn to do that very well and let our hands and our arms swing past our body to hit a draw. Here's what we want to look like. We're going to do it this way. We're going to hinge our wrist, hinge our elbows, rotate our forearms. Hinge our wrist, hinge our elbows, rotate our forearms so that you look like when you get to impact, you look more like this than like that. Okay, here's a good drill that's going to help you learn to do that. We're going to come over here. We're going to set up to this golf ball, just like we normally would. Now, we're going to turn our body 45 degrees over here to the right, and all we're going to do is make little swings with this 7-iron. I'm not going to try and turn through. I'm not going to hit it very hard. All I want to do is get the feeling of my arms rotating and my arms swinging past my body. Once I learn to do that, I'm going to start to hit the ball in the center of the club face time and time again. I'm going to learn to hit a little drop. Then I can start backing that up and getting to a normal setup position and hitting the same shot. You're going to get rid of that slice. You're going to start to hit a draw. The ball's going to go higher. It's going to go farther. It's going to have more spin. Then as that becomes second nature for you, as it did for a tour pro, you're going to be able to get the thought process out of what your golf club's doing and start to incorporate your body back in a little bit. But right now, priority number one for you, square your golf club. Put all your thought and all your effort into what your golf club's doing. Forget about what your body's doing. It's there just to support the motion of your arms. If you can't square up your golf club, you can't hit good golf shots. But here's what I told you. I told you I was going to give you two tips. I was going to do two things for you. I was going to help you get better today. Better means lower scores. So the first thing we're going to go over to the putting green. Okay, I said I was going to make you better today, and better means lower scores. One thing that really drives amateur scores up is 3 putts. And 3 putts rarely come because you misread a break by 3 or 4 feet left or right. What really happens is you misjudge the speed 3 or 4 feet short or long. So what I want you to do is concentrate on your space. Don't worry about your stroke right now. Don't worry about the line. What I want you to do is concentrate on your pace. Whether it's a 20-foot putt, a 15-foot putt, doesn't matter. I want you to read your pace to finish right here at the back end of the cup. Not a foot past, not 18 inches past, not 2 feet past, which I know we've all heard, because here's the thing. What's going to happen when you start finishing your putts right here is we're always going to have a 2-putt. We're always going to have nothing but tap-ins. The other thing that's going to happen is you can read your putts for a consistent pace. If every time you're hitting a putt, you're trying to read it for a different pace, it's hard to read. Now you know you're always going to finish right at the back of the cup. That's how you read your pace. The other thing that's going to happen is the more we leave putts hanging around the edge, we're going to start to drop putts in. So now not only have we eliminated 3 putts, but we're going to start to throw in a bunch of 1 putts. And that's how we're going to drop our score. That's tip number 1. I said there was going to be 2 tips. Let's go over and find that out. Okay, so here we are in the desert. I've hit a bad tee shot and I've left myself in the desert. Now, the bad tee shot that I've hit has not yet caused me to make a double or triple bogey, and it won't. What's going to cause me to make a double or triple bogey is the crazy, ridiculous, heroic recovery shot that you're going to try and hit from here. There's tip number 2. Take the big numbers off of your scorecard. Another thing that drives your scores way up is putting big numbers on your card. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your medicine. You've hit a bad tee shot and you're in the desert. Now, instead of trying to still make birdie and hit it up on the green, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a club that I know I can hit solidly. I'm going to stand up there. I've got this tree to get past. All I'm going to do is stand up there and hit it solidly. Move that club down, that ball down the fairway. Now from there, I can wedge it onto the green. Because I'm not going to 3-putt anymore, the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to make bogey. Now, when I start to make bogey instead of double and triple, my scores are going to come down. Remember, you hit the ball in the desert. Don't try to be a tour pro now and get up there and make birdie. Take your medicine, eliminate the big scores, and minimize the effects of your bad shots. Okay, so let's recap. We're going to do 2 things to lower our scores. We're going to eliminate 3-putts, and we're going to eliminate the big numbers off our scorecard. Those are just huge things that are going to help you get better right now. We're going to lower our scores because that's our goal for everything. We're not going to worry about having a perfect golf swing. We want lower scores. Eliminate 3 putts, eliminate big numbers off our scorecard. Then we're going to put our thought process in making sure that we're rotating the golf club. Make the golf club and what the club face is doing your number 1 priority. Don't worry about what your body's doing. Your body will respond to the swinging motion of your golf club. If you do that, you're going to get better right now. I promise. I'm Jeff Fisher for the OB Sports Golf.